Hello. I don't know if that camera's working. It's not. Hello. We're going to the live one. Screw it. We'll do it live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Tabletop Legends. I don't know why I thought this would work. Enjoy here. We can switch back and forth. Enjoy this freeze frame of me looking very confused while I tried to set this up 20 minutes ago, and I don't know when that camera stopped working. It is what it is. It wouldn't be Tabletop Legends if everything wasn't broken and terrible. It is Tuesday. We're back for another episode. We have some very exciting things. Do me a favor, as technology has ruined my fun. Just everyone viewing at home, just don't look at the bottom right side of your screen. Just maybe put like a sticky note over that for a minute, as that was supposed to be a surprise. And you know, the universe hates me. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Marble Moon Studio and the 8th House. As always, supplying your witchy lifestyle and home good needs. You can check them out at marblemoonstudio.com or shopthe8thhouse.com. They are, I don't have my Tabletop Legends mug with me this week. They have mugs. Take my word for it. I also want to give a shout out to Teams MZ, Many-Sided Dice, the Twitch affiliate program, and of course, our very good friends over at Little Dragon Corp. You can type !Little Dragon in the chat at any time during tonight's episode. This is the part where I go to see who's the first one to race to do it. There it is.
Nerds, I win!
!Little Dragon to get a link to Little Dragon Corp. Somebody's crap is reverbing, by the way. !Little Dragon Corp. This is going to be a real weird episode if I'm listening to myself. it's going to be like that.
Russ, you got to push to talk.
Somebody's got to turn push to talk on. So thank you to our friends at Little Dragon Corp. You deserve better than us. But if you are in need of some new dice, some tabletop game paraphernalia, or other fun stuff, please check them out. And you can enter our code PROBONUS at checkout for a 10% discount. So, without any further ado, we resume our session in the city of Niveria as some very big decisions lie ahead of our party. They came back after uncovering an Invarian ruin and something potentially even older and even more interesting. And their wizardly patrons have decided that they are going to use this discovery as leverage to earn their way into the Ordinum Libri. And they have offered the Fools Errant, our party, the chance to gain membership themselves as part of this deal. We had some covert messages to employers being sent last week. We had some light larceny of fellow members' backpacks. We had a bit of a heart-to-heart, several heart-to-hearts actually, between some of our party members and our aging wizardly friends, as well as some of our party members and their guard friends in the city. So we return this week as we see how these events continue to unfold and see what decisions are going to affect our party for this week. So stick with us as we dive right into this week's episode of Tabletop Legends right after this. Hey, welcome back. So, we're going to kick tonight's episode off. The big reveal, you can take the sticky note away from your computer now, and you can see our surprise special guest.
Surprise!
DM Michael is joining us. Gotcha. You didn't know he was here.
Super secret.
Super
I
secret.
I could have done that.
You
the
could
whole
have.
time. Just
Well,
some
we didn't
little-
see it coming that that our technology was gonna interfere. Yeah, but in on the positive note, if you guys do anything befuddling during tonight's episode, I can always just like, that didn't look like anything to you or the viewers on the screen. It just flashed a very confused still shot. So DM Michael is joining us tonight. He's going to be playing a special surprise guest character. This is, I think,
Nula
Sarah.
the horse.
Yeah, yep. That's it.
Ah,
He's Nula the horse. I think this is the first proficiency bonus guest person we've had digitally. I believe Sarah from every other proficiency bonus show has joined us here as a guest star one time. But I figured we're gonna be doing this remote for the foreseeable future. Why not start getting some people in here? So we'll be doing that when we have a good opportunity for it. Over the next couple of months, dropping in some other folks from other proficiency bonus shows. So DM Michael is the DM of everything and the boss of proficiency bonus. Are you aware, Michael, that you've been risen to this like deified state? Like we make you out to be this like omnipotent, all powerful being on this show.
Why does that happen?
We
Like,
keep
I don't
invoking your name as if you're gonna like smite us from the great beyond. So everybody has to be on their best behavior tonight.
canceled flag.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I'm slacking. Yeah. There. I fixed it.
Aha! I thwarted you.
There it is.
Every time he puts up the canceled, I can just switch to that confused face so that it ruins his plan.
There you go.
So we have chat says, I cannot read the name, but somebody says chat says his secret character is the secret second DM of this campaign. Yeah, and we're gonna get really meta, and the DM is gonna get killed off part of the way through our session tonight, and a new DM is gonna take over. Okay, so let us pick up where we left off last week. We had about a 10-day of time that you were waiting for the Ordinum Libri, the bookkeepers, to send a delegation to meet with the collective of the Arcane Eye, as well as you guys. The wizards had given you the time to kind of mull things over about what you wanted to do before then. Last week, we kind of jumped around the days during that 10-day to see what various characters were up to. So where I'd like to pick up is basically with a few days left for the waiting period for the Ordinum Libri to show. It's coming down to decision time for the group of you, and we will pick up here in the parlor of 28 Dorset, the Ordinum's apartments, the Ordinum's flats where you guys have been staying, and the group of you are all there, with the exception of Nula. You guys know that Nula had a little bit of conversation with one of her guard friends the other day. And a couple of nights ago at this point, she told you she had some errands she was going to run, and basically said to you, don't wait for me for dinner. And has not returned since. It's been about 4 days at this point since Nula told you she was going off to run some errands, and she has not come back. You have about another few days left before this meeting with the bookkeepers is supposed to take place. And that is the position you find yourselves in as you're all gathered in the apartments of the collective. So I will turn it over to the three of you and Invisible Carlos. He'll jump in whenever he gets back to his seat. But otherwise, go ahead.
All right. So, are we all largely in agreement? Has Noah come back yet? Noah has not come back yet.
No. This makes 4 days. Unless she's on the ultimate sugar bender, something's up.
Wouldn't be surprising. You want to give it maybe one more day and go take a look, or
I'm probably gonna see if I can track down her guard friends at the bar after dinner tonight. They might have a lead on her.
Well, I've been working on something in the meantime. Little contract to give to Mr. Dimios. Make us I'd really like to go over it with Noah before I turn it in, but I think it would be setting us up for something very nice moving forward.
Contract.
But, yes.
Okay.
Pretty standard contract. It's nothing excessive. It's very fair.
I've heard that term before. Usually that's shortly before the knives come out.
Oh, no.
Not that I expect you to pull a knife, just what are you thinking?
It's just a standard
Stop saying that.
Okay.
I'm starting to look for knives.
It is standard for a donation-based kickback scheme contract. Just making sure that we're taken care of properly for finding such immensely world-changing finds. It is still no upfront cost, or minor upfront cost for the Ordinum Libri, but it does set up the wizards for a very, very nice life, as well as us. So, again, it's fairly standard
big
finder's
words,
contract.
which makes me think you're up to some crap.
No, hardly.
I'm with Brom.
It's it's just normal terms and conditions.
You say standard one more time, I'm gonna ball tap you.
It's just a percentage fee of all profits coming from anything resulting from this research. Exclusive rights for the wizards, stipends for them, as well as a good bit of access for us, with a little wiggle room for favors mixed in.
Where does Moxham fit in this?
None. This is, I would argue, it's kind of a carbon copy of other similar contracts I've handed out, but this was drafted by me for exclusive use for our group and the wizards. He is not involved in this. Yeah, the Order of the Arcane Eye. I want to make sure that they're taken care of. Makes us look good.
I thought you said lizards. I was very confused for a moment.
A bald, wrinkly dwarven head pops into the room. Hey, somebody talking about lizards in here?
No, Mr. Collin.
That depends. What sort of weird thing do you have for lizards? Because if it's anything like the mayonnaise, I'm gonna leave right now.
Alar just uses minor illusion, creates a floating, glowing 125 under him.
He looks at Brian. Who are you and what do you know about mayonnaise?
I'm the guy who gave you the mayonnaise.
Oh, hey, hold on. Hey, let me get my book. I want to hear about this lizards conversation when I come back. he goes off upstairs. Dimios kind of comes in shortly behind him. He's like shaking his head. He sits down at one of the adjacent armchairs, his usual spot, and he says, "Unlike Mr. Copperkettle, I am not so hard of hearing. It seems that you have some discussions of perhaps potential asks you would like to add to our negotiations with the Ordinum Libre. Is this something that you wish to discuss with us at this time?"
Absolutely. And I will hand over the contract I had drafted out. A first draft, of course, if you choose to accept these terms. Super useful. Very beneficial to you. We'll obviously present this as our token in. But protect us a little bit and compensate us appropriately for this find of ours. Of yours, of course.
Namara is in the room all of a sudden. She's like sitting down in her chair comfortably, and nobody really noticed her come in. She just sits down and says, "I see you have been busy. Well, I am sure we can look over this contract. Well," she gestures towards her eyes. She says, "Dimios can do the honors. Perhaps there are," and she looks, her kind of blank gaze scans the room. "Perhaps there are other concerns you wish to discuss now that you have had time to think about it. We have not much time before the bookkeepers arrive."
Alar,
"Don't all
Brom,
speak at once."
was there anything you wanted to maybe include in a request to join? We are offering quite a lot, and
I'd like we can get some sort of fancy magical stuff out of these book people.
Either that or a small gold stipend. I mean, joining the order is a pretty big honor. They don't extend it lightly. On the other hand, we've got the find of maybe the century.
Alar, I have dependents now. I have to make sure that Nuala the horse is taken care of. A small gold stipend? We made the discovery of the century.
Fidget, Alar, in the contract I have drafted up, it is reasonable amounts of stipend for us, as well as commission and royalties for any value of the fines.
Colin has entered back into the room and is currently in the process of reading this contract of Walter's over Dimios' shoulder. And as you guys are kind of having this conversation, Dimios is like this look of like mortified, like astonishment is coming over Dimios' face, while like the grin on Colin is getting like wider and wider and wider. And so as you discuss dependence and Walter uses the statement like fair compensation. Dimios like sets the paper down and he says, "Dear heavens." And Colin is like, "Oh, hang on. And he walks over to you, Walter, and he's like this, and he's looking at you, and he's getting an eye like back and forth on either side of your lap, and he goes, "Oh, lad, I'm just trying to figure out how you're sitting down with balls of that size." He looks at you. "Have you people seen what he wrote in this?"
No, he's just discussed it and called it what was the term, Brom? Standard?
It's standard.
It's
Standard
standard.
concept.
A half
You
a
tried
dozen
to claim
times,
rights for your
I'm-
group to the boat.
I will,
Look.
if Dimios is done reading it, ALR is gonna look it over as well.
Sure. So you can kind of take a look at that, and
Hold
basically,
on. I'm pasting it over.
oh, okay, he can paste it for you. So for our viewers, what Walter has drafted is essentially a contract that secures rights and royalties for both the wizards as well as the party, essentially to all profitable ventures that will ever come from this discovery, as well as a clause he's added where the Fools Errant get ownership of that vessel that was down there. Dimios is clearly terrified by this. Colin is peeing himself, laughing, but is after kind of a few moments he settles himself and he whacks Dimios. He says, "You see, now look, he's clearly out of his bloody mind with the magnitude of what he's written down in that contract, but he's not wrong. I told you, we have to ask for more." And Dimios is like, but the academic integrity of the gesture. He's like, oh, to balls with the academic integrity. I want gold. They can have all the research they want from the find, but we gotta get more out of this. There's some good ideas on that paper. Rein it in a bit, Jesus. I don't know what kind of visions of grandeur that fellow's got, but he's
Master
not wrong
Coppercattle
with
is
certain
not
percentages.
Incorrect.
What's that?
I said Master Coppercattle is not incorrect. There's a kernel of a good idea. However, we present this contract even as a first position to the Ordinum Libri. I think they're going to laugh, and they're going to walk out the door.
Again, it's a first draft. We can tone it down, but I like to start strong and work backwards for there, so I'm not leaving anything off the
I
table.
have a question. Where else are they going to find a skyship or a ship that predates the Invarian Empire? I believe we are negotiating from a position of strength.
Fidget has an excellent point. You can't exactly find these just laying around in the desert. Except for this one.
Dimios says, I believe a minor correction in grammar there. We are negotiating from a position of strength. I am not to diminish the accomplishment of your part in locating and securing this information. But as we have discussed, by all legal rights of relic hunting and claim laying, the official claim lays with the collective of the Arcane Eye. That being said, perhaps there is no harm in profiting to some extent from this, but I wish to be very clear. This discovery that we have made, both my personal beliefs, that of ourselves as the collective of the Arcane Eye, and those that the Ordinum Libri uphold, are those of individuals who believe that knowledge should be shared. I do not intend to try to rake the Ordinum Libri over the coals for profit over this. I believe it is the academically and morally correct thing to do to present them with this one way or another. And I was like, yeah, sure, but that doesn't mean we got to get nothing for it. It's just the goblin and balls of steel over here, all right? We should ask for something. I mean, they're not going to find another old-ass boat buried in the ground. I mean, maybe they could, but it's not going to be nearly as fancy as this one.
Yeah,
That's a
maybe
big deal.
we should come up with a better term than old-ass boat. I don't know if we can really sell them. When we go, hey, we found an old-ass boat.
How about pre-Invarian vessel of unknown metallic origin?
That's too.
How about we
You
call
have
it
to speak their language.
Bethany?
We can call it Bethany, if you so choose. You are technically the rightful claimants, so you get to christen it, if you choose.
Wouldn't Namara have first naming rights since it was her lead?
She kind of
That is
grins a
true.
little bit from her seat. And Demios cuts her off. He's like, by all of the gods of my people and yours, if you name that boat Bethany, because Colin thinks it's funny and you know it will upset me, I will burn everything you love to the ground.
What
This is
about
the most
Invariant
important
Chick
historical
Magnet?
event of my- What?
What about Invariant Chick Magnet?
I cannot have this conversation anymore. He scoops up the contract. He says, let us review this. We will come up with something more reasonable.
I would like to name it Nula.
Above your head, above your head, there's just a giant glowing no.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Speaking of
No,
Nula,
it's enough with Nula the horse and Nula the paladin. We are not naming the ship Nula 2.
we are currently
It would
short.
technically be Nula 3.
Not helping Fidget.
Demios and Colin kind of head out of the room, leaving you guys there with Namara as they're sort of looking over this paper, and you can hear them sort of arguing up the stairs. As Namara kind of sits in her seat, she says, if I know my associates as well as I think I do, I think they will likely come to a reasonable agreement that will involve some level of financial gain for us, as well as a residual benefit towards yourselves that should be agreeable to our parties. I would reiterate my previous question. You have only a few days remaining. While asking for the vessel that was found itself to be owned entirely by yourselves is perhaps a bit bold. It is not unreasonable that you might consider asking boons from the Ordinum as part of our bargain. Have you given us any thought? And what is it you might want to ask for?
In the contract, I did reference spells. I'm certain they have things we normally wouldn't have access to. Between myself and Fidget and possibly Alar, we may be able to fill out a repertoire and be a little bit more effective out in the field.
There are a few ritual spells that would be useful to have handy.
That would not be unreasonable merely by choosing to accept the offer to include yourselves in gaining admittance to the bookkeepers. I'm Brum. I may be paraphrasing, but did you say magical shit before?
Yes.
That is certainly within their realm of possibility. I should ask. And Fidget, you kind of get the sense that even though she's not, she hasn't like turned in your direction or anything, you get the sense kind of that this is, there's something she's looking for from you here with this. She says, we still have not discussed what the group of you will do. One way or another, our contracted employer-employee relationship is coming to an end. what do you all intend to do?
I myself, if possible, would like to join the bookkeepers. Hopefully, that will allow me to maintain some level of contact with you three. But I mean, this is kind of a dream for me to have a shot. Now, I figured I'd be lucky if I had even a ghost of a chance decades from now.
I don't think we should be talking about that without Nula here.
I don't
Yes.
disagree.
Where is your friend? I don't think I have seen her for several days now. It is not like her to miss so many of Stanfield's meals.
Yeah, I'm starting to grow concerned. I was going to go and visit the haunts of some of her friends in the area, see if they have any idea where she might have gotten off to.
Very well. If there is anything else you wish to discuss with me now or before the meeting in a few days, you know where to find me. I do hope that everything is all right with Miss Nula. And
So do I.
should you require what aid an old sorceress might be able to provide, I am at your disposal.
Oh.
And unless anyone stops her, she will then kind of just get up and sort of glide out of the room.
Did you mean blink out of existence?
She clips through her chair and then
She
zooms out of
T-poses
she just goes up through the ceiling in a T-pose.
I am going to throw on my coat and I'm gonna head to the Mifflindian guard barn that
Sure.
I remember her two projects, as it were, frequented.
Okay. What is so? For the sake of time, because I don't want to. I do want to get to what's going on with Nula, but I don't want to let you guys faff about with no information. Essentially, over the next couple of days, we know what Alar's off to do. What sort of where the rest of your head's at, as Nula has yet to return.
I'd probably be aiding Alar trying to find Nula as well.
That's the only thing that matters.
Okay. Then what I will tell you is via your searches, you doesn't take you long to locate Eldon, who doesn't give you all of the specifics about the conversation that he had with her. He does tell you that he had a conversation with her about sort of a I guess you could call it a falling out between himself and Gregory about a month or so back, and that they talked about after this this incident between the two of them that Eldon tells you Gregory left Niveria, took a leave of absence from the guard, and Eldon found out through Gregory's sister that Gregory had told her he was going to travel outside of the city for a period of time and kind of just go needed to get away from the city and see a little more of the world for a while. And that's essentially the nature of the discussion that he had with Nula a few days prior. He tells her, he tells you guys that she was very comforting and very very kind to him. But after that discussion, he has not seen her since. In continued searching, running around, asking questions, asking guards, takes you another day or so, as you got a lot of ground to cover. but a nearly 7-foot tall, bright blue dragonborn with a blink puppy does tend to leave an impression. So you are able to. What you find is that that evening, that same evening that she, like the last time you guys saw her, where she said like, "Hey, I got an errand to run. I'm not going to be. Just don't wait for me for dinner." That same evening, a guard by the. I will tell you by which gate. One of the western gates that leads out towards like the dock district, towards the large like pulleyed ferries that forge the river to the other side to where Farbank is. You basically are able to determine that night where she told you she was running errands, she left the city, and then got a steed from somewhere and rode hard out of the city in the direction of, my head is covering it now, but in the direction of sort of like southeast-ish towards where the city of Festanaust is, if you go far enough in that direction.
The hell? Why would she go there?
Hard west, not east, sorry.
We need to find out if we can teleport there.
Okay, so why would she go? She would go because she got a lead on Corey. She would go because she got a lead on the guard.
Gregory.
She would go because
It's because of Gregory.
Yeah, it's definitely that one.
We need to teleport there yesterday. Let's go.
That's gonna take time. We have
You're
to
wasting
wait.
more of it. Let's go.
I hope you got money for it. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, screw it. We gotta find our friend.
Alrighty. So, with about 2 days left before the Ordinum Libri are supposed to arrive, the group of you have decided you are going to teleport, or try and secure a teleport out to the city of Festanaust.
It seems
we
like we're
will.
cutting it awfully close.
And we will.
I thought Brahm was the melodramatic one.
We will take a jump.
In times of great need.
We will take a jump back in time now to several days prior to Nula. You have left the city. You have gotten on the ferry and crossed across the Nivian River over to Farbank, where you guys first arrived here when you came down from up at Stone Mill.
Mm-hmm.
And you have made your way to the outer gates of Farbank with a bit of a plan in your head, I would say, yes?
Yep.
All right.
Trying to find my friend.
Take it away.
I would have gone to the edge of the city.
Mhm.
Would have cast Find Steed.
Alrighty.
And just galloped out to try to find Gregory.
So, Find Steed, if I am correct about this spell, is not just any old steed. It's a very special sort of sentient celestial steed, is it not?
Yes.
Does your special celestial steed have a name and a personality that they have?
His name is Frank.
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say, I swear to God, if it's Steedy, I'm out.
It's Bethany.
His name is Frank, and yeah, he's like, he probably looks very similar to the warhorse. She might be a little jealous that she doesn't have a warhorse, so it's very similar, but it's a little off color, and he's just very stoic and A horse, a few words.
Alrighty.
A horse,
Check
a few
something
words.
quick. Find steed. 5e.
Is it cotton candy colored?
No, I
Well, it
think it'd
wasn't.
be gray. It'd be gray.
Okay. So you're summoning a warhorse. Okay.
Dang, fancy. Has an intelligence of 6.
What language would you like it to understand?
Common.
Common. Okay. All right, Frank the warhorse. Summoned from the ether. Kind of looks at you.
Hello, Frank.
I for dead sure thought Matt was playing the horse.
I am
I
playing
thought
the
that his
horse.
character's gonna be.
I was
No,
getting ready to
DM
go,
Matt.
Oh, DM
other Matt. Oh, Michael. I thought he was. Yeah. We have another Matt that I was. Michael is the horse.
No, Michael, not the horse. All right, so you.
Fortunately, that's a good thing because I did not practice my horse before.
There was a pause when she said, "Okay, Frank," and I was like, "If he says, if he starts talking, I'm gonna lose it."
So Frank the horse is a nod, and off
We
you
gotta.
go.
Yeah, we're on a mission. We gotta find my friend.
Like buttered lightning. Frank the warhorse streaks off into the night, and you ride hard for several days, traveling west, following the only trail that you know Gregory had taken based on the information that you got from Eldon that he was taking a post with a caravan heading towards Festenost to secure his travel. You know you are well behind at this point. Festenost is weeks by caravan trail, and he's already been gone for a month as of when you got back, and you're a few days out, and the riding is starting to get to you. Probably your like the insides of your knees are scraped up from hours and hours of time in the saddle, and you've been sleeping in the saddle, and Fred the Celestial Warhorse just plods on endlessly. It might occur to you that perhaps this was an ill-considered course of action, that you are once again charging off headlong, searching for an individual who is one person anywhere in the wide world.
Mm-hmm.
And on about your 4th day out of the city, so shortly after the group scene that we just saw with the rest of the gang there, in the opposite direction, heading towards Nibiria, the opposite way that you're going, a caravan is approaching. It's about 4 carts driven by an assortment of like donkeys and mules, and there's a couple of like oxen pulling a few of them. At the front of the cart, there is a large, sort of very curled, manicured, mustachioed gentleman, wearing rough traveling clothes, sort of driving the lead cart and leading this caravan. As you sort of get within hailing distance of him, you can see, a lot of the eyes on the caravan are kind of keeping track of you carefully as you're a large armored individual who is armed. They kind of watch you as you approach. The gentleman in the front sort of raises an arm, sort of a stoic, Oh there, traveler.
Hello.
All's well on the road then.
Yep, haven't come across any trouble. Have you happened to see a gentleman may have been dressed in armor traveling this direction?
Traveling, what, on his own?
No, as part of a caravan.
Come across a number of caravans, going back and forth down the main trail from the capital to Festenhaus. I'm afraid you're going to have to be a mite more specific.
His name's Gregory.
Oh. Well, yeah, I know him.
You know Gregory?
He kind of looks at you a second, and
Of
he's
course, he's me.
like, wait a minute. Are you Nula?
Yeah. Do I know you?
He's like, he holds up a hand, and the caravan kind of stops, and he says, I frankly don't believe it. I have a letter for you. And
A letter?
He gets down off of his the driver's seat of his caravan, and he goes around the back of his wagon and kind of climbs up into it. You hear him rummaging for a bit, and he says, "Oh, your friend Gregory. Well, yeah, he linked up with my caravan a couple of months ago.
Oh.
Said he was looking to take a head out toward Fürstenhaus and beyond. Yeah, it was handy with his sword, practical, could work.
Yep.
We took him on for the journey. When we dropped him off in the city before we loaded up with our delivery assault here, he gave me a few letters to bring back to Niveria, to the capital for him. Told me one of them was for Nula. Described you thusly. And the other's for looks like a mate of his in the guard, one Eldon.
Yeah, I can. If you want me to deliver it for you, I can.
He says, "Well, it's in his friend in the capital. You're going that way, aren't you?"
Yeah. Good point. Yes.
He says, "Oh, well, I mean, I can at least give you your letter if you're here then."
Yes.
He hands it to you. He says, "What are the odds?" Well, there you are. And so I'm going to send you something, Becca.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And while I give you a minute to read that, jump back. Oh boy. All right. Pardon everybody's cameras for a minute. This is going to get real messed up. My message is too long, but hang on.
Oh no, it got messed up.
Split it in half. In 2 messages.
And I'm just going to take a picture of it and she can read it. Hopefully this is not an atrocity to nature. I'm going to text you. So I just sent you the letter. If there's a problem, just let me know. Meanwhile, back in Niveria, you guys have rampaged around trying to get yourselves a teleportation passage to the city of Festenhaus. with mixed success. Eventually, Namara steps in and tells you that she will pull some strings and pay your wage. However, the situation that you find yourself in, even with Namara's influence, the earliest teleportation that they can secure for you guys out of the Mythlindian transit station to Festenhoust is about an hour before the meeting with the bookkeepers is set.
Okay. How far is it to Feston House from here? As the horse rides.
Overland, close to a month on ground.
So even if we get there, she's not going to be there. Even if she was just riding flat out until she passed out.
Correct.
Okay, there's got to be another way to get in contact with her. Sending. Any of you have sending? Walter, Brom, Fidget.
3 wizards.
Let me find out if the 3 wizards have sending.
I do not.
I just imagine them like if they have it, they like Colin like butt dials people all the time.
Bad memory. Who dis?
Why'd you call me? We just got off the phone. What are you talking about? You called me.
Are you people?
Also, I'm pretty sure if Colin has sending would not work. He won't remember who Nula is. Fix the lighting in this friggin' room. That's better. First order of business, the Ordinal Libri, learn sending.
Oh, I don't know how wizard character sheets work.
For the sake of, can we just say one of them has it?
They have specifics. What level spell is sending?
Third.
Okay, let's see. Dimios has got it. The other 2 don't. So
Okay.
you can recruit Dimios.
That makes sense.
All right. So we get in contact with her. Tell her to get her butt back here. She's probably not going to be back in time for the darn meeting.
Do you want to just ask her over sending if she wants to join her?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be it's going to have to be a short message. But darn it, Nola.
Short message.
Darn it, Nola. Okay.
What is your short message, Brom?
Dear Nula, what the fuck?
All right, that is 21 more words.
No, that's 20 more.
20 more words.
And let's not lead off with profanity.
I
Technically,
mean, she did just disappear out of nowhere without telling anybody, you know, like a responsible paladin.
Okay. 25 words. 25 words.
Fidget, what do you think?
We just need to know where she is so that we can go get her.
This is technically true.
True.
We also never thought of the fact that if she went off by herself, she doesn't necessarily need us to go get her.
Or whether she wants to join the bookkeepers herself. I mean, she is already committed to the Order of the Radiant Dawn. However, let's ask and be sure.
I mean, I don't think this is about the bookkeepers. This is about our friend.
Yeah, who up and left without anybody.
That is a fair point. Do you want to ask if she's coming back or intends to? I mean, I assume she's coming back. We still have her sugar stash. She didn't take it with her, so. I mean, ask if she's coming back. Go get her if she's not. That seems like kidnapping with extra steps.
Yeah, I guess we start out by figuring out where she is, what she's doing.
All right, what's the message?
All right, hang on. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna put it in the Discord. At least what I'm suggesting, anyway.
Someone is gonna have to read it to me if it's been in there because I have your cameras up. I can't see it.
Sorry.
Where are you? Are you returning to Naviria? Did you want to join the bookkeepers?
Okay.
Is that acceptable for everybody to send as a message to sending to Nula? Nula Prime, not Nula the horse.
That's as good a start as any.
All right.
Let's figure out what we're doing.
Dimios will send that sending, and then a moment later, Dimios gets back. No, so this is taking place the morning of the meeting with your with the bookkeepers. We are going to hop back again in time a few days to Nula and the caravan leader with your letter in hand there. What are you doing?
In talking to the caravan leader, I will explain that, I was really upset that Gregory left, and I was trying to find him and be a good friend to him, but if he's trying to make things start a new life, I don't want to interrupt that. Like, what do you think I should do?
What? What are you asking me for?
I don't know. You knew Gregory a amount of time.
I mean, in the month he traveled with me, he seemed like a good enough gent. Seemed to be had a bit on his mind, I suppose, but seemed excited to get out and see things a bit. Talked quite a few times about seeing the ocean. Seems to me like weren't nobody forcing him to go nowhere.
And you said that he works for you?
Oh, not so much. Just a mutual arrangement. He gets safe transport, safety in numbers with the caravan. We get someone handy with a sword and with a good strong back case we break an axle or something.
So
not uncommon.
You'll see him again?
All depends. He comes back this way, needs a group to travel with when if he's heading back towards Naviria. Sure, I'll take him on again.
All right, maybe I can send him a letter. Maybe I can. I live with a bunch of wizards. I should be able to send him a letter.
All right. Do you see the wizards now?
No, they're not here.
Oh, all right.
I live with them.
All right. So, are you coming? You're heading back to the capital then?
I guess I'm gonna head back to the capital and like invest in some paper and some messages.
Well, I mean, if you want to tag along with us, it's a bit of an easier ride. You look like you've had a hard go of it the last. Looks like you've been riding a few days now, huh?
Yeah, that might be
You
good.
want back with us? We're a couple of days outside the city by the looks of it.
All right, that sounds good. I don't think Frank really wants to ride. Keep riding. All right, I'll travel along with you. I can bring up a hammer if need be.
He says, "Yeah, you look like you know what you're doing. It'd be good if we run into any trouble." And he says, "Oh, you know this other bloke of his?
Yes, I do.
Well, then here, you take it." And he gives you the letter. He says, "He's a good enough guy, but I'm not a bloody postmaster." So he gives you a letter that is sealed and just says Eldon on the front of it.
Nula might be like taking. She's not going to open it, but she is going to like
holds it up to the light.
kind of like press it, see if she can read any words.
Alrighty. Okay. So we will jump.
Not opening it because that's not what paladins do. But if I happen to read anything through the paper.
I feel like Frank the horse needs a cigarette.
I had to check if summons like celestial steeds or whatever, the fine steed could actually talk telepathically. Because 100% this was going to be Frank's voice if there was a talking horse. Frank would be like, "All right, where are we going to ride? Come on."
That's what I envisioned his voice as.
When you named him Frank, I assumed that was the case. So back to our prime temporal position here. Hours before the Ordinum Libri are supposed to meet with the Collective of the Arcane Eye to negotiate this, Nula is still AFK. No, AWOL. And you guys have sort of wrangled a very flustered Dimios who has other things on his mind right now, and kind of harangued him into sending this message for you. And so, one more time, somebody read that message for me. What is Dimios sending to Nula?
Where are you? Are you returning to Niveria? Did you want to join the Ordinum Libri?
Okay. Nula, did you get my text, Becca?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Nula, this message reaches you. You have 25 words you can reply directly to Dimios with.
I'm down the street. Be there in few. Yes.
You guys.
I am down the street. Be there in few. Yes.
You guys have Dimios send off this message. He kind of closes his eyes and he's listening. And he opens his eyes and he just goes, "I am going to finish preparing for our meeting. Just stand there." And he points to like right behind the front door. He goes, "Just stand there. Come and find me in 10 minutes." And then he just walks out of the room.
Did we just get put in the corner?
Thanks.
And not more than 10 minutes later, the door flies open.
Blink
and Nula
puppy.
is standing there. Yeah, the door
Alar
flies
does a
open. There's a
slow
series
turn,
of.
crosses his arms and gives her the the stern, disappointed look.
I'm gonna disguise myself as Alar, like cast myself, and do the exact same thing.
I'm also gonna do that.
just three judgmental Alars greeting Nula.
Fidget, how are you
Oh.
reacting to this?
Fidget's muted.
I
Fidget's muted.
Oh, you're muted, Carlos.
I'm on her side.
Okay. Are you all right?
yes.
All right. Why did you run off?
She was following
Gregory
her
was
destiny.
sad.
Okay. So that prompted you running off without telling anybody?
I thought I'd be back.
Festin House is a month away.
I had a fast horse.
It's still a
But that
month.
boy's there. What are we doing anymore?
Okay. Look. So, we're about to meet the Ordinum Libri. Did you want to join that organization, or do you want to go running off for Gregory? Because
Nula was following her
that's cool.
destiny.
I support your choice, Nula. Whatever it is, I just, you kind of left us all hanging here.
I wanted to be there for my friend. I know what it's like when you put your heart out and, things don't always go the way you expect them.
That is a very confusing sentence without context.
No,
I don't feel like we have enough time for context right now.
no, Alar, he deflates a little bit. I know it's like to do everything that you can and still fail. I do. So I understand. But you keep saying your friend, and I thought we were friends. Why didn't you tell anybody?
Because you tell me it is a bad idea.
We might not have told you no, but we might have gotten you to slow down a little bit. I mean, after all, we have a wizard who is currently probably rethinking the offer that he made to me, who has the spell sending. So you might have been able to get in touch with him, with Gregory.
I remembered that sending spells existed about 3 days ago.
Yeah. All right. So,
So
are you back?
Can I just
Hold
say
on,
that
hold
I've
on.
been watching Russell's face for the last 2 minutes?
So you're telling me that you went halfway there, remembered sending spells was a thing, came back?
Well, I also got a letter from Gregory. I made it out there and I ran into a caravan, and Gregory happened to be on that caravan when it went the other direction, and I got a letter from him.
Okay.
Here.
So he's alive and he's okay.
Yes.
At least as far as the writing of that letter. Good.
Hey, don't say that. Don't.
I told you, Fidget.
Alar,
Did you
don't
see
phrase-
him?
Don't phrase it like that. Alar, Jesus Christ. Hey, oh, I'm sorry. Wrong deity. Wrong pantheon. Hold on.
Faerun.
Faerun pantheons.
Did you see Gregory?
I didn't get to see him.
Fidget, I swear to Mistra.
But he wrote me a letter, so now I should be able to write him a letter.
Yes.
I also have this letter to Eldon that I have to give.
Okay. Can it wait until after the meeting?
I guess.
Awesome.
Would you like the full resources of the party to help you find Gregory after the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. You've got them. At least you've got whatever resources I can offer. I have
Thank
no
you.
idea. Brom, get back down here.
What's the
Also, I-
R-Hall? What's the R-Hall equivalent of Stockholm? Balan syndrome.
Yeah. Nula, from behind you, there's a kind of a slight. I do
turn
hope we're
around.
not. I do hope we're not interrupting. This seems to be rather emotionally intense, and we are a bit early. We can go back down the street and wait a bit if you're not ready for us. And as you turn around, there are 3 individuals standing in the street behind Nula. One of them, the one who had spoken, you all recognize, is Tori and Adrian.
Yeah, crap.
The second individual,
Please congratulate the voice.
is a short, sort of mousy brown-haired, slender human woman. And the third, why doesn't the third one describe himself for us?
You guys see a half elf standing, slender build, but he's got very dark hair that's long, draped over his shoulders. He's got a mustache that kind of rolls over into a goatee down at the bottom, still hanging on to my soul patch right here. Darker tan skin. Imagine a Hispanic gentleman.
All right, so you see these 3 individuals standing in the street behind Nula at the door.
No, please come in. I will go and get the members of the Collective of the Arcane Eye. Please step right in here and have a seat.
Of course.
Walter, go get Stanfield.
You are aware that you are speaking to someone who is your exact duplicate right now.
Yes.
But I will go
Yes,
get
sir.
Stanfield, yes. I'll bow very deeply at you and then go get Stanfield.
All right, so
Heading up the stairs to go get the 3 wizards.
Aylar heads up the stairs. Walter heads down the hallway towards the kitchen. The 3 bookkeeper representatives step into the building. What are the other 3 of you guys up to at this point? What are you doing?
I'm looking for food.
Okay, so you follow Walter back to
We have
the
important guests. It's time to go to the pantry.
I guess where are we planning to have the meeting?
like in the sitting room parlor where you
Okay.
guys have all your.
I guess
kind of
we can
conversations.
gesture them to the sitting room.
Rob,
Okay.
are you still disguised as Aylar, or did you just miss that?
No, when I left, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess we can adjourn to this room over here and have a seat.
Of course. He says, I believe I know the way. And he turns. He gestures. Lady Kalruk, Master Sanchez, after you.
Oh, gracias.
He sends both of you kind of the 3 bookkeepers head past you guys, head in and begin to find seats as the woman that Adrian had referred to as Kalruk goes to sit. He goes, no, dear. That one. He gestures, points her to another seat. Somebody's reverbing again.
It's a problem.
And she, without hesitation, she just goes and sits in the other seat. Doesn't even question the sort of weird last second, sit in that one instead. She sits down. Our good third friend here. What are you finding a seat? Are you?
Santiago will stand behind.
Alrighty, sounds good. Santiago takes his position behind. Adrian kind of takes up a position on one of the couches and sort of folds one leg over the other, politely resting his hands on his feet. Nula back in the kitchen. There's a little bit of chaos as Walter kind of is getting out of the way, getting back. Stanfield is like putting coffee and tea and things onto like a serving tray, getting ready to bring them out. All while like you're doing this complicated dance around each other as he prepares tea and coffee cakes, and you're like eating part of the pie that he's got on a server in there, and like grabbing a sandwich and like coming around. So this very synchronized in unison motion around the kitchen that has clearly been practiced over the last year that you guys have been living here. Walter, as you sort of return to the room, Stanfield is hot on your heels with refreshments that he kind of brings into the room and sets down, bowing to everybody profusely. And at this point, Alar and the three wizards return downstairs. And after a little bit of shuffling and jostling, everybody manages to get seated or at least comfortable where they want to be. Nula, feel free to return at any point that you wish with as much food in your arms as you deem necessary. So I guess just really quickly, the wizards are all in their customary seats. Two of the bookkeepers have sat. The third, Santiago, is standing. How are the rest of you guys, kind of wanting to array yourselves around this room? Is anybody else choosing to stand, or are you all just kind of finding a seat?
Okay. Walter will probably stand a little off.
Okay.
Pitcher would like to
I
say.
will stand off and slightly behind one of the wizards.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand in the doorway because I'm
Okay.
eating, so like I don't want to be in the middle of it, but I have a plate for myself and a plate for Blinky.
All right.
That's not threatening at all. Just standing in the doorway, a giant dragon in full plate.
As you guys settle in, Tori and Adrian kind of looks around the room. He says, "I believe I have the pleasure of making introductions, as I am familiar with everyone in the room. Of course, you all know who I am, as I know you. The associates of mine here and here." He gestures. This is Lady Mishkalantia Karuk. And she kind of she leans forward. She says, "Mishka will be fine. Mishka. Our good friend over here, Santiago Sanchez. I always forget. Do you have a title and honorific you prefer to use, my good friend?"
No, that's fine. Santiago Sanchez is perfect. Hola, hola. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Greetings.
Ole, Santiago Sanchez. And he then goes around the room, kind of rattling off each of your names and the collective of the Arcane's names to his associates.
And Blinky.
Yes, and Blinky.
If you want to have a real fun game, have Nula reintroduce everybody.
So he says, Lady Mishka is here on behalf of the Ordinum's ranking council members. I am here as I am familiar with all of you and have been had my own hand. I did find the group of you in the first place. I thought it would be only fitting that I should lend my assistance where I can to these negotiations. And our good friend, Mr. Sanchez there, his part in this shall become clear once the proceedings have gone a little further and we've seen how things should go. Yes, Fidget.
I've never met you before in my life.
He smiles a little bit, and as he does, your like eyes lock with his, and you feel that same feeling, like in the pit of your stomach, that you felt when you bumped into that Goliath in the desert, when he handed you that coin, that you've had on occasion interacting with this group. You get that, just that pull that somehow this individual is extremely important to all of this. And he kind of looks at you with a glint of familiarity that, as you say, you've never met him. But you feel the way he looks at you, you feel like he knows you. And he just kind of holds that gaze for a moment. He just smiles pleasantly at you. He says, I know things. It's what I do. But no, we've never met. You are correct.
I see.
He kind of chuckles a little. He says, you know things too, don't you?
Sometimes.
I think that you and I are likely to have many interesting conversations in the future, and I am greatly looking forward to it. And Mishka goes, I'm sorry. I do get like that sometimes. We should begin, should we not? And what follows is an extremely long, boring, technicality and contract filled. Yes, PowerPoint presentation.
First of all, Walter loves that stuff. Second of all, yes.
Walter's like, so many transitions.
Ooh, that's an interesting argument. I'm gonna have to write that down.
We've gotten into the subclauses.
Every line has its own animation that you have to wait for it to come in.
At this
Josh,
point, we are going
that
to.
slide has way too many bullet points on it.
We are going to take our break as the Ordinum Libri and the Collective of the Arcane Eye subtitle, also the Fools Errant, conduct their negotiations. And so we will return in about 5 to 8 minutes, with everybody having filled their drinks and emptied their bladders. We will see what is to become at the conclusion of these negotiations. And what the hell is Santiago Sanchez doing here? And where the hell in this world of tabletop legends of Ageria does a Latin accent come from? We'll find out. Because it's canon now, boys and girls. See you in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. We have returned with 100% more cats than we left with. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us over the break. We return having pulled the old TV classic of cutting away during the really boring long ass exposition scene where the wizards and the Ordinum Libri negotiate for several hours over the terms of this contract. And we return as things are beginning to sort of come to a close. The wizards have settled with the Ordinum Libri on admittance into the bookkeepers for the three of them, as well as certain rights and royalties that are related to the fine that they are turning over. A lot of which came from sort of Walter's suggestions, where the wizards will be compensated, certain percentages of profits that are made from the, whatever magical discoveries or inventions or things like that might be gained from whatever their research over the coming years yields in this Invarian research station. Which brings us to sort of the last bit of negotiations, and it is Namara who kind of breaks what is sort of coming to be this like winding down silence as things wrap up. And Mara, who has not spoken during most of the negotiations, or spoken very little, leaving more things more to primarily to Dimios. She says, "Now, I believe we would like to discuss our companions, the Fools Errant, as they call themselves. Though, of course, the legal rights to the finds in Honorand belong to the collective of the Arcane Eye, as it was under our charter that they did the delve. I feel, as do my colleagues," she nods towards Demios and Colin, "that their part should not be underplayed. We believe that certain negotiations should be made on their behalf." Torian kind of like cracks into this big grin, and Mishka, who's been sort of a kind of a dry, very even-keeled bureaucrat almost, during a lot of this, kind of leans forward and says, "This is unorthodox, but for something of this magnitude, as we have discussed, perhaps considering is something that we can do. What are the terms for this Fool's Errand?" Namara kind of opens her palms towards you guys. "What do you want to ask?"
Well, we have 2.5 spellcasters. I would like access to some useful spells for us to aid in our further assistance to the Ordinum Libri if we are to be working with the bookkeepers. It's mutually beneficial, and I think it would be good for both parties.
We would also like to, if possible, also join the Ordinum Libri as the members of the Order of the Arcane Eye are being accepted as members.
I see. And what else?
Also, we might be interested in some magical items that could aid us.
I see.
And
Gold is always helpful when adventuring.
and maybe ways to help find people.
Unorthodox. It is not often that the...
Carlos, if you
Oh, did you say something, Carlos?
I would like 2 favors to be determined at a later date.
Unorthodox. It is not often that favors. And Torian goes, "Oh, delightful."
This negotiations sure has turned. I'm all ears.
Mishka considers. Favors. This is the first that anyone has.
Also, letting us into the organization doesn't count as the favor. Or the just a stipulation there.
And Torian says, "Come now, Mishka. The sheer scale of what these individuals have presented to the bookkeepers is, at the very least, worth what we're offering them in exchange. And you know how I love a good cliffhanger. 2 favors to be determined at a later date? Come on." She says, stipulations. It cannot be said that your skill as relic hunters to delve into ruin is in question. You have accomplished a feat that is impressive. Though it is unorthodox, I believe that offering you admittance into the Ordinum Librae is agreeable.
Thank you.
Within reason, access to the Ordinum Librae's holdings, Terra Libra included, as well as the resources offered to any admitted member there within for, shall we say, for the layman, the higher level stuff. Further discussion will have to take place at a later date. Magical item. Yes. I think this can be agreed upon. There are always surplus of various artifacts in our storehouses that are often commissioned to those with access. I believe that as part of finder's fee, we can negotiate a fair value that can be traded in for such items. We can discuss the details in person at Terra Libra at a later time. These favors. She looks at Tori and Adrian. He's like, yes. Fine, Adrian. You are so keen on the goblin's favors. Stipulation this. You ask your favor to him. Is your problem to solve their problem when they are ask you favors. And is nothing that will be deemed unacceptable or harmful to the Ordinum, its people, its constituents, or its holdings in any way. Is that fair?
Done. I would like to make my request.
Tori and Adrian is like, he just leans on one arm. She goes,
Torian, the mysterious knowledge stick is mine. Back off.
I'm very confused.
Your mysterious knowledge of who I am and being weird about it. That's my thing. I do that. I know things with no justification.
He says,
I'm intently watching Mishka for her reaction to this request.
Fidget is also immediately looking at her.
She just like starts fixing herself a cup of
between
coffee.
The two spellcasters just going.
You could pick a different thing. You could be like the balloon animal guy now.
He goes,
I don't know who that's directed at.
I will make a counteroffer. I will make a counteroffer to your offer. As knowing things and then doing things because of those knowings is rather critical to my existence. In the future, I will offer you one of my knowings to be bestowed upon you, that it might be presented to the world as your knowing.
I am now shifting focus to staring at Fidget.
Eyes are still going.
Colin leans over to Brom. He's like, are you following any of this? Because I'm really confused.
I'm still thinking about the balloon animals.
Well, we can continue negotiating some other time, Torian.
I
But
see.
if you think that that's a thing that I would be interested in, and that I'm
Oh,
worried
I
about
do.
credit, I don't think you know me very well.
He says, no. You misunderstand. I have a knowing, or in the future, I will have a knowing that you don't. And oh, so many complexities to this. I offer you a knowing that I will have in the future that you will not, and that I think will serve you greatly when the time comes.
I'm going to lean over to Fidget. He is actually really, really, really good at knowing things.
Nope, I'll hang on to my favor.
He says, very good. And at this point, Mishka just like downs the rest of the little cup of coffee she had made. She goes, are we in agreement then? Yes, Miss Nola.
You never told me how you could help me find people.
We are wizards. We have magic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also, what kind of magical items in your offering? I don't want to get like a whole bunch of shitty Happy Meal toys or something, Eddie.
What is Happy Meal toys?
It's a Voland thing. You wouldn't.
Look, Voland is a terrible, terrible place. There's so
I have
many
not been there in
stuff.
some time.
Yeah, don't go there.
Oh, is that where they have the ram spice coffee?
No, that was the nice part.
No, they make these chicken things, but they make them. It turns out that they found out a few years ago that they're made exclusively from the bones of peeps.
I did not know this.
I cast Mage Hand and start patting Nula on the shoulder. Okay.
Colin leans over to Brom again. Oh, you got a source on some of them peep bone eat them ups.
Yeah, I know a guy.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I know a guy.
I may or may not have access to an infinite supply of a condiment that will go great with that.
Honey mustard?
Damius is like,
more Mage
what
Hand
is
patting
happening
on
here?
my shoulder. It's okay. It's okay.
Back to the main point. The magical
Maybe I should have a
items.
stroke out.
So he says, I believe you will find the variety and quality of arcana that you have access to as one with a peek into our coffers and stores will be more than satisfying. He says, if there is nothing else, we can conclude these negotiations and be on our way. She reaches into a satchel that she's got, takes out a big rubber stamp. And she just goes onto the pile of documents you've been making. It is agreed upon.
Late request.
No, I already stamped the stamp.
No,
It's
I need one of those stamps.
You cannot add anything.
It's so great.
So she gets up and she says, as you said, the relic hunters put in a bid for themselves to join the organization as part of the deal with the wizards, and they have accepted. I suppose this means that you can be smug and do this second thing that you have come for, yes? And he goes, yes, I can be very smug and do the second thing I've come for now.
Crap.
Oh boy.
He goes,
I
very
would like to
good.
cash in a favor. Can you not be smug?
He goes, do you want to use a favor on that?
Do I want to use a favor to make you do something that will make you enjoy this slightly less? Yes.
Balls, deal, fine. Fine. That is one of your favors.
It is.
Save the other wisely. Lady Kalruk, I thank you for your time. I shall conduct matters in accordance with what was discussed before with the Fools Errant here and set them on our way with Master Sanchez post-haste. This is very good. And as she kind of turns, she looks at you, Fidget, and you're not sure, but you think out of the corner of her eye as she turns away, she gives you the littlest bit of a grin. And she heads out of the room. And Torian says, very well, with as little smugness as can possibly be mustered by my mortal form. The stipulations are as follows. As you will be entering into the Ordinum Librae, not as academics, wizards, or arcane contributors, as the collective of the Arcane I will, but under the title of Relic Hunters, there is a small matter of, call it, it's a rather unique case. It would usually be much more rigorous than this, but you must, it is required that all incoming Relic Hunters be evaluated before they are able to be fully inducted into the Ordinum.
Is this a test? I don't like tests.
It is a test, but I assure you it is a test where most of the answers will likely involve hitting things with your hammer.
Oh, okay.
So I have
I'm good at
full
those.
confidence. I have full confidence that you should be fine.
I don't know. Nula had a lot of anxiety over the taste test that Stanfield wanted last week.
Will it be multiple choice?
From the other room, he says, "The world is not ready for my saffron muffins."
Neither was my chamber pot.
What are you talking about? Those were fantastic. Neither of you have any taste.
They needed more sugar.
You say that about everything, including sugar.
Colin leans in. No, they're right. They were bloody disgusting. I heard that. How dare you? Torian Adrian says, it just so happens that an opportunity presents itself. The Ordinum has been assigned a contract of sorts by the Mithlindian royal government. As we are widely known across the Five Kingdoms to have access to some of the most accomplished individuals when it comes to delving ruins, dangerous situations, things like that. We are often called upon by the governments, private organizations, things like that, to aid them in situations that they find to be a little too sticky for their own people's abilities. Just a day ago, the Mithlindian royal government contacted us on behalf of their archaeological excavation here in the city of Neveria. The Great Excavation. Most common folk in the city call it the Big Dig, if you are familiar.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that makes traffic nigh impossible.
That is, you guys can't see it. For those of you at home, that is an area on sort of the northwest western quadrant of the outer ring there. It is a part of the River Ward. You guys would at least be passingly familiar with it. It is the part of the River Ward that about 10 years ago collapsed in a huge sinkhole. And when they started to like excavate out the clearing, they found Invarian ruins underneath the city, part of like the original structure of this city. And as such, it has been excavated out in a large project since then. Torian Adrian continues. He says, there was a bit of an incident at the Great Excavation a few days ago. I will leave that to my good friend, Mr. Sanchez here, as that is his role in all of this. The task that is to be set before you is that on behalf of the Ordinum Librae, working in coordination with Mr. Santiago Sanchez, so that he might have a chance to assist and evaluate your capabilities firsthand, you are to address the contract that has been taken out by the Mittlindian royal government at the Great Excavation.
So this is our test to assist and be evaluated?
He says, it is. He says, frankly, based on your track record of successful delves with the Collective of the Arcane Eye here, not the least of which is the one that has triggered all of this, gaining your access, I should think this will be of little difficulty to a group such as yourself. It is almost a formality at this point, but there are certain rules which must be obliged. As relic hunters, it is not customary to allow anyone to join without being formally evaluated by an existing member of the Ordinum.
And who has rights to the discoveries therein?
Says anything found within will be the property of the Mittlindian government, as it is in their capital city, of course.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Just what is the nature of the specifics of this contract? Why call in the Ordinum Librae? Have they discovered something particularly unusual?
He says, I will leave the majority of the details to my companion here to explain to you as you get underway, but my understanding of the details is more that the dangers that they are facing within the portion of the excavation that they're having trouble are a little more than is, strictly speaking, safe for your run-of-the-mill hired town guard to be handling. It requires a touch more expertise and perhaps a bit of magical ability.
I know a lot of competent town guards. I know two specifically.
Do not mistake, I am not belittling the competence of town guards when it comes to dealing with things of an ordinary nature, keeping the peace and things within their purview, but certainly a man equipped only with a little bit of training and a military-issued sword is not always up for tackling the same sorts of things that the group of you have come across in your adventures.
Very well. Mr. Sanchez, if you could offer us a little more detail of what we might be getting ourselves into.
Okay, as this whole thing was going on, Santiago has a clipboard and he's like rolling through a bunch of sheets of parchment and things and holding it above and scratching his head every once in a while. I don't think Santiago knows all the details. Dungeon Master.
Santiago is gonna get a thing that will give him the details in a second.
Okay. He knows what he's here for, but not sure exactly why. So,
yes, Santiago has
Walter,
details.
we need a clipboard.
We do need a clipboard.
Add it to the list with a giant stamp.
Hold on a second. We need a giant stamp and one clipboard.
Pardon my messing up of the cameras here, Twitch viewers. I need to jump off so that I can send something to. Oh, please don't be
Really?
too long.
It has to be mithril.
okay. I think I got it.
I think we have earned at least a mithril. Thank you.
And just so we all agree, the clipboard rotates, and whoever has the clipboard runs the mission.
I, for one, do not agree.
Of course, Alar doesn't agree. Everyone else agrees, right?
I agree because I'm the tallest, so I can hold the clipboard up highest.
No, we agree that we're rotating.
As you guys are arguing about clipboards, and Santiago is rummaging through his Torian Adrian, kind of like bows his way out and leaves the room. And perhaps quietly through the door after he leaves, you hear, "My God, I've never had to not be smug for that long in my life. I almost died."
I must say, Torian, that was actually pretty good. I'm impressed.
He says, "Thank you, my dear man. They are all yours. Feel free to return to Terra Libra when they've successfully completed the job. I don't know that I'd let them dally about too long. Those archaeologists have been MIA for a concerning amount of time at this point."
See,
So
true.
this is search and rescue. All right.
Do you I don't know. It's you're not letting that fidget get to you, are you?
He says, he may have bested me today, but no. Fidget is going to do wonderful things. I can tell.
Well, I look forward to their evaluation.
He says, "Well, good luck to you all. Congratulations on your upcoming admittance into the Ordinum Libri, and happy relic hunting."
Thank you very much, and good day.
He kind of gives you a sort of a slight nod, and makes his way out of the room and leaves the apartments and is gone, leaving you guys alone with the collective of the Arcane Eye and Mr. Santiago Sanchez.
We need to figure out how to put a bell on that guy. It's just uncanny.
No.
I could ask him for it.
Ask him to give us ascending every time, advanced warning when he's popping into nowhere.
I could ask him to wear a literal bell.
You should make him wear a cravat with ducks on it for a year.
That bell thing might be the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. And I think when posed with the question of potentially asking a favor of an individual who is of some standing with one of the most powerful organizations in the Five Kingdoms, making him wear a little bell all the time is the best thing I've ever heard.
It's a power move, right?
Yeah, assert your dominance, Fidget. Do it. Do it! I dare you, you won't.
That's the episode title. Assert your dominance.
Assert your
Fidget.
dominance.
So, Mr. Sanchez, what do you have in store for us today?
Well, I must be honest, it's not going to be easy, but it is definitely something that some formidable individuals such as yourself should be able to handle. But first, I must say, benvenido, welcome. Welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
so great. It's so great to get the opportunity to be able to join you for such an excursion. Going over my notes here, it seems that a few days ago, the archaeology team that was working in the excavation portion, they were working very hard on one certain area, and all of a sudden that the chamber collapsed, and they were attacked by what seems to be a nest of these massive scorpion-like creatures. It seems that most of them scattered and ran, but only one out of the 3 were able to make it out. The other 2 are missing within and still remain missing. There have been these giant scorpions and spiders and the like, which are definitely not considered common for this. You know this. As well as attacks from even what are listed here on my sheets are strange spirits. I don't have much detail on the strange spirits, but it seems to be outlined here on page 36 of this parchment form that I have. It seems
the
that
must-beloved bureaucracy.
it seems like there's so many pages on here that I'm not sure what even. To be honest, I've been here for a little while, and I don't understand what these last 25 pages are for. It's
If you had to go to the DNV while you were
quite extensive paperwork here. But anyway, the Ordinum has been called upon to send you, our recent specialists, our new relic hunters, with these experience to try to delve and stop whatever is happening with this monstrous frenzy, and also discover the fate of those 2 missing archaeologists have yet to be found.
Okay, so step 1, find the missing archaeologists. Step 2, find out what's causing the excessively large critters. Step 3, stop it if we can. Okay.
Squish the bugs.
Yeah.
That's
one could
that
say
seems to
that,
be
yes.
our MO so far. Murder all the problems and hope for the best. Okay. I guess, do you want to take us to where this dig is? I don't think I've been there.
I've been there once, so I can. But if you've you know the city better than I do, Mr. Sanchez.
Oh, please, you may call me Santiago.
Thank you.
As I'm looking over your evaluation sheets, I believe that I don't. Yes. Well, I suppose I can help you find the area. I guess I will have to just maybe scratch off this section A on each one of the valuation forms. I'm sure that would be fine. I would just initial it on the side. It would be good.
That's
wait,
fine.
what?
I can direct us there.
Oh, fabulous! Then I will not scratch it out.
Alrighty.
Are we going there right now?
Do you guys? It's about midday.
The sooner that we go, the better. If this is going to be a search and rescue, the longer we wait, the less likely it's bringing back live people.
Right. Okay.
All right, tell you.
I will give Stanford my letter in case he happens to run to
Stanford?
Who?
Nula tracks down a stranger on the street named Stanford and
Is that
gives
the
him a
big guy?
letter.
Oh god.
So you're giving Stanfield the letter for
Stanfield. Yes. Eldon.
Eldon. Okay. No problemo. Okay. Let's get you guys here.
I don't like the look of that brain zombie.
Don't worry about brain zombies. Don't look at
Sorry,
that. You don't need to see. You don't need to see that.
I'm not worried about brain zombies.
I don't like that we don't get to touch the table.
Yeah, well, it got flipped over 400 times last week. That's what happens.
He needs to put down each individual piece just so.
I know, I'm just trying to get your dang minis set up over here.
Dungeon Master back of the hand slap as you come
Yeah.
in and no touching.
All right.
Yeah, we're not on the set, so he doesn't have the butt shockers he has installed in all the benches.
That's right. Yeah, the ejector seats are not. Who am I missing here? I have Alar, I have Brahm, I have Nula. Where's Walter?
Fidget.
Where's Fidget, who still has to use Kel's mini until I figure out how to make a Fidget mini? Character art's expensive.
I'm at the very bottom.
Walter. Oh god. And then let's see, is this alphabetical?
Why don't you just type it into the search bar?
I don't know if
It's definitely got to be alphabetical.
how dare you. All right, well there's no Kel. So we're gonna do this.
Is it? No, it's under Fidget, I think.
Could be. This is really exciting for the folks at home who are still looking at the Naviria map.
Just make him a horse. It's fine.
And suddenly,
Just make him that ballista.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well, right? Do I have like a lightning bolt atomic bomb mini? We can.
You can make him cardbot.
Cardbot. Boom, Kel.
There we go.
Slash Fidget.
That's for you. How about a nice? How do we feel about what kind of weapon does Santiago Sanchez wield?
He wields a spear with a shield.
Okay, well that's oddly specific. It is not.
You can use weak security.
It doesn't have to look exactly like him.
Here's a guy with a pole arm, sort of like a spear. Santiago Sanchez, the spiciest of all miniatures. Okay, now let our stream viewers gaze upon the beauty of our map.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
ooh,
But hey, here we are, live and in Technicolor, on the map of the Great Excavation. Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na. Canceled.
Demonetized.
You guys make your way through the forest ward where the Collective of the Arcane Eyes apartments are. Around the bend of the outer ring of the city towards the River Ward, which is the northern quadrant of the city, closer to the banks of the Nivian River. It does not take you long to find the Great Excavation, as at this point in time, as they have continued to dig it out and delve into the tunnels and structures beneath the city, about a 10-block portion of the district has been basically just leveled and then dug up, creating this enormous crater in the ground with all sorts of scaffolding and ramps coming in and out. It doesn't take you long once there either to find the place that you need to go, as it does appear that most of the excavation is currently shut down. There are not workers hurriedly moving about, moving dirt and earth in and out. A lot of the cranes are still and quiet. But there is one portion towards the sort of northeastern edge of the Great Excavation, of the Big Dig, where you do see some activity. And so you guys make your way from the upper level here, street level, across large wooden scaffolding gangplank, past what appears to be a storehouse for work equipment and materials, and looks like there's like some lockers and stuff in there for excavators. Down a set of scaffolding to the lower level, and you make your way over past a group of kind of anxious, nervous-looking archaeologists who are sort of standing about a table covered in various like rocks and tools and things. That as they sort of see you coming, they just gesture you towards this individual over here. Santiago Sanchez, you are able to provide the group of the information, as you do have this, although it wasn't in your little dossier there. The Mythlindian, where is he at here? The Chief Royal Excavator, a man by the name of Herman Nil, is the one who took out this subcontract to bring in the Ordinum Libri. He is the one in charge of the excavation, and he is the man who you approach at this point. As you guys come up to him, he is standing within sort of his kind of work tent area, surrounded by maps and documents and tools of various sorts. There looks like a lot of sketches of like underground layouts of the excavation itself. Herman Nil himself is a human man. He appears probably to be in his mid-60s. He is kind of a slender, older, bespectacled man. He has a narrow frame. And though he looks a little bit nervous, he kind of seems like he has a kind of a gentle demeanor. He has these sort of bright blue eyes that just have kind of a kindly twinkle to them. He wears a lightweight working clothes, all in like browns and earth tones. And he has a vest over top, which just has dozens of pockets sewn into the front of it, all filled with numerous brushes and chisels and other fine, what appear to be stoneworking tools. He is wearing a large floppy hat, which as you guys approach, he kind of pulls off his head, revealing he's mostly bald with just a snow white, short-trimmed patch of hair like around his ears and the back of his head like this, sort of like a friar's haircut. He sort of wipes sweat from his forehead with the back of one of his hands and puts his floppy hat back on. As you guys walk up with your arms in armor, he sort of looks well, if I'm not mistaken, you're the bookkeeper's people?
Hola, Senor Mill. It is nice to see you.
Yes, well, of course you apparently know who I am. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting today?
It is I, Santiago Sanchez. It is wonderful to make your acquaintance. I have brought the wonderful individuals who will be aiding you in your detriment today.
No, very well. Well, good to make your acquaintance. Best not to dally too long and crack on with it. Quite worried about my folks.
We'll do all
as I said,
to locate them as quickly as possible. Would you be able to furnish us with information about where they are, possibly if you have copies, maps of the area?
He nods emphatically and kind of turns around. He says, Yes. I prepared everything just as I was asked for you to come. I'll give you everything I can." He comes over with a few rolls of parchment. And he says, "The three archaeologists who were involved in the incident, chap by the name of Ed and Woolley, Nadine Leakey, and Artis Evans. Evans is the only one that made it back out when the monsters swarmed out of that chamber. I have his statement here." He kind of pulls out a piece of paper. He says, "He reports that they had been working on a collapsed passageway that was only recently uncovered in a partial tunnel collapse just a few weeks ago. They removed just a small piece of rubble from the collapsed passageway. And when they did, he says, here it says, there was a rush of air, smelled deeply of dust, and there was a deep rumbling. Caused a number of the rocks to fall away from the opening, creating a passage just large enough for a person to squeeze through. He says they investigated inside, making their way into a larger chamber behind, and that was when the scorpions and the spiders attacked them. Eden and Eden and Nadine were driven deeper in while he was forced back towards the entrance and ran out to try and find help. Artis is unharmed, but he was pretty badly shaken up. He's been put on paid leave to rest from his ordeal after we got his statement. That says here, and he kind of hands it over to you. He says, we've had problems with scorpions and spiders before. It's not too uncommon that we see them down there, but usually they're not too much trouble. These are different, though. Something's got them terrible riled up. We've had to pull everybody out of the excavation, and he kind of gestures over a little ways away. You can see, as you swing that way, there's what appears to be a barricade has been set up in front of one of the ramps towards like an entrance to the interior of the excavation there. And there are a couple of Mifflindian guards like stationed behind the barricades watching that entrance. He says, since the initial incident, they've been coming out and attacking anything they can get their hands on. It's been all we can do to keep them contained inside the tunnels, let alone try and go in there. A couple of men made a few attempts, but after we had some terrible injuries, I knew it was time to bring in somebody with a little more oomph behind him than just our guards here could muster. So I put the call into the Ordinum.
All right. Miller's gonna look over whatever maps have been provided to.
So he is able to provide you basically with a map that shows the relevant portion of the underground excavations that they've made, which is basically just a series of kind of tunnels that have been dug out. There are a few places where they connect with some of the like uncovered larger existing chambers and like what look like corridors or passageways of some sort. He has in red ink highlighted essentially from the entrance that you guys see those guards standing in front of throughout the tunnels. He's highlighted the path that the archaeologists are to have taken with like an X marking the spot where they broke through the wall where they were initially attacked. And there's kind of like a question mark beyond that. As he points it out to you, he says, we've got no idea what's behind that wall. We've never been that far in before. It's completely new portion of the excavation.
All right. Any crevasses, any areas that might be dodgy along this path?
Nope, shouldn't be. We've done pretty extensive work making sure everything's nice and shored up, nice and stable before we've progressed any further within. No drops, anything like that, just sealed tunnels. As long as they're still working, there's flameless lanterns lit all the way around the portions we've already explored, so you shouldn't have any trouble seeing in there.
Excellent.
I'd bring something with you just in case. Just who knows if some of the lanterns have been knocked out of position by these monsters everywhere in there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this information. It looks very complete and very useful. Shall we?
Yep.
Alrighty. So,
Muted.
as you guys are kind of having this conversation and preparing, as you turn away from Herman there, one of the guards over by that entrance, as you kind of start to turn and head towards them, he gives like this sharp 2-fingered like whistle, and calls out, "More of them! Everyone ready?" And he and the other guard positioned there, kind of like take out their swords and get ready, watching the entrance of this cavern. So, we'll give you guys a moment here. You can kind of this is your general area here. Up there is your entrance to the the cave, and this is where the guards are positioned. So you guys have enough time here to kind of position yourselves where you want to, like in this sort of vicinity. So just give me, if you tell me where you want me to place you, I will do that. Unfortunately, since we were running Tabletop Simulator Lite, I'm going to have to move tokens for people. But we're going to roll initiative as soon as you guys get a chance to get in position, and we're going to go into some combat.
Okay.
I would like to be along that line and between the two people.
You want to be there,
Or there's a line
like that.
that's visible right next to people. Hold on, I clicked on that button. Yeah.
This line?
No, that line. You had it. You had it. No. No, the line that was there.
This line.
Yep, there.
Okay.
There.
I think I can put you on that line. Yeah. Okay. So Nula's there. Alrighty. Where's everybody else going?
Move ALR up to the matching position on the other side.
Okay. I think that's standable. Yep.
I'll be behind the barricade behind Alar.
Okay.
I'll be behind the barricade behind Nula.
Okay.
And Fidget's in the front.
Fidget and Santiago, where are you guys going?
Santiago would probably position himself kind of as long as he's within, I'd say, 20 feet of everybody else. Not up front.
If I scale to a certain...
Carlos is
Where
muted.
is this? There it is.
Fidget's fine there.
Fidget's cool out here. All right. So Santiago and Fidget can hang out back there. Alrighty. So I'm going to get some boys out here.
What about that one scorpion that I can see to the left?
Those are undeletable scorpions. Don't worry about them. I can't get rid of those scorpions.
Flip the table.
Yeah.
We saved that for the end of the night.
Oh, they move.
Oh boy, do they!
Hi, buddy.
Oh, that is
Gross.
cool.
Okay, that's terrifying.
They are animated. That is cool.
Animated spiders.
Hello, Fluffy.
Why won't you move? You punk. All right. Let me check my notes real quick to see how many of these spiders you guys need to fight. Okay. I got 2 spiders. 1, 2, 3. Bleh, 4 spiders. Oh, he's a little close. And 1, 2.
So 4 spiders and 4 scorpions.
Hang on. I don't know how I miss this every time. All right. And bang. Okay.
We're actually just going to sit for the next 30 minutes while Matt just covers
Yep.
the table in scorpions until they're falling off.
100 scorpions.
Good
If
night.
you
Al.
hold if you hold control and then click and hold, it'll just spray out scorpions.
Does it really?
No, please don't do that.
There's
It's
only
like-
one way to find out.
I sort of want to do that.
I literally made all of that up just for.
Oh, okay.
It's not an actual thing.
Wouldn't that be a
It-
pisser if
I mean, it
just
could
like
be.
1,000 scorpions appeared on the map?
Where's your hubris now, players? Where's your hubris now?
I left
Alrighty,
it
so
back
I'm
at
gonna-
28 Dorset.
Put you guys like this.
There's no
And-
camel crickets, right?
No, those just exist in my house.
And mine.
I'm
Alrighty.
good with spiders and scorpions, just not camel crickets.
somewhere Sarah is having a problem right now. It's not a fan of spiders. Okie dokie. Go ahead and hit me with them initiatives.
4.
Cool.
15.
8.
Okay. Okay.
2.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, alrighty.
Santiago has a 7.
A 7. Alrighty. Let me roll for the Mansties. Ouch. Get my Monsties computer set up here. That's right. I have a computer just for Monsties.
Acceptable. So if we defeat the computer, we defeat the encounter. Got it.
Yep.
We just remote into the Dell real fast.
It's not that one.
Oh, no.
That's the other computer. Alrighty, so these guys have a +1 for their initiative. Okie dokie. These guys have a +. Whoa! Alrighty, and one last thing.
Oh, but wait. There's more.
There is more. There's always more. Okie dokie. First to react as all of these spiders and scorpions come clicking and clacking and pattering out of this tunnel at all angles, on the ground, on the sides, on the ceiling, spreading out across the rocky surface of this excavation and rushing out towards the onlooking meaty adventurers in their path. Alar is the first to react.
Okay, right behind where that first spider is, I am going to cast Silent Image, and suddenly there's going to be a giant wall sealing up the passage.
Can your
Wall.
allies tell if it's a illusion or no?
The wall.
No. And suddenly, poof, there's a wall. And you know he does illusions like that.
Fair enough.
The save DC is 14 for the critters. It's a wisdom save.
Crap. I just closed the Twitch dashboard. Wisdom save for creatures is a 14. Okay. Alrighty. So that is Alar's turn. Anything else?
That's about it.
Okie
He
dokie.
throws up and goes, might slow him down a little bit. I hope.
Alrighty. Fidget. What's up?
If Fidget stands like kind of behind Alar, can he line up 3 spiders, or is the rock in the way?
Let's take a look. If he arcs up, I'd say he can probably get those 3 spiders.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Alrighty.
So we're gonna do Fury of the Small Lightning Bolt.
Okay.
DC 14.
I dive for
2.
cover.
And 3 fail. All 3 fail. Full damage.
Uh, 30. Nope, exactly 40 points of lightning damage.
Alrighty. So let's see. As I think this is a feature. Is it not? Who? I thought they had a die emote. They don't. Just flip.
Just flipping, fall through the floor.
Yeah. So 3 spiders just go. Ichor and gunk just shoots everywhere, splattering all over the ground. These 3 like husk-like spider carapaces kind of like flip over, their legs curl inward, and they die. And all of the other monsters get 50 hit points to them. No, so Fidget's turn. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. Oh, actually, I should have measured that. I don't know if you were able to get there from where you were standing. There are squares on this. 5, 10, 15. You're probably fine. All right. That is going to bring us to the scorpions. Scorpion's movement speed is... Ooh, okay. There's some fast boys. All right, so scorpions come charging. Let me get the tiles here. Okay, I think that can get to here. So each of these big ones is 15. So he can go with 40 feet of movement. He can get to about here to this guy. This one can get to Nula. Guy can get 30. Oh, they, sorry, as I'll narrate this here. He'll dash to get to 15, 30. He'll dash to get to the other guard. The scorpions just run straight through that illusory wall. Does not seem to have fooled them. Some of them disregard it as they just like go over the rocks down towards you. But at least 2 of them here just run straight through it, seemingly not fooled.
Damn.
Alrighty, so the scorpions are going to start making some attacks here. 3 attacks on. Let's do the party members first. So we'll start with Fidget. First attack is going to be a 9.
Somehow that doesn't hit.
The second attack is a 14.
Yep.
Okay. And the third attack is going to be a 13.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 hits. Okay, so from the first hit, Fidget is going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
No, Fidget's down.
And you are grappled, Fidget, as this thing like pincers its claw around you. And then it follows up as it like grabs you with the pincer. The tail comes up and goes and just sticks you right in the chest. So you're gonna take 9 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
21.
Okay, that is more than enough. So you'll take half damage on this. You're gonna take 8 points of poison damage. Alar, similarly, 3 attacks against you. The first one is a 6.
Yes.
The second one is a 15.
That'll hit.
Okay, and the third is also a 15. So similarly, you will take 2 hits. So from the claw, you're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
And are grappled. And then from the follow up, the stinger, you will take 5 points of piercing, and I need you to make a con save.
14.
14 is also enough.
And I will uncanny dodge at least the piercing damage.
Okay. And the additional poison damage will be 10.
Okay.
Alrighty. So these guards are each going to get attacked 3 times. 1 hit, 2 hits on the first guard, and full 3 hits on the second guard. I don't think I even need to roll damage. I think they just die. Yeah, they're not going to live. So these 2 guys basically get like swarmed by these things, which just mow them down in like an instant, and you see these things just like a hail of like claws and pincers and tails as these 2 guys just go like and are cut down by these incoming scorpions. So do these guys die? How's that flick finger work? Here it is.
You have to click and drag it. Yeah, you have to like real
Oh,
fast.
we need a gentle flick. We don't want to put too much English on it. All right, well, there you have it, folks. They are kaput. And then Nula, finish off this round. 3 attacks are coming your way.
Okay.
Oh boy. 23, a 21, and a 14.
To hit?
Yes. 23,
14.
21, 14.
The
Oh,
first
2 hit?
2 hit, the second one misses.
Okay, so you do manage to get your shield up in time to block that stinger as the 2 pincers come in and like clamp onto you. So from the piercing of the stingers, or of the scorpion's pincers, you are going to take a total of 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are also grappled.
All right.
Alrighty. That brings us, Nula, to your turn. So you're currently grappled by a scorpion.
Can
With
I
another one. Go ahead.
ankle myself to hit the 3 in the back?
3 in the back. Which 3 in the back?
Not the back. Like the one in front of me, the one in front of Fidget, and the one in front of Aylar.
Are you trying a breath weapon?
Yes.
You can. You're grappled, so you're not going to be able to move. So you're not going to be able to breath weapon all 3. You could theoretically, if you're like angling yourself like this and breath weaponing that way, you could ostensibly do that.
Okay, I will.
You could aim it such that it goes like. Does my little finger hand show up for you guys?
No. Yes. No.
Sometimes.
The cursor on the rock here.
No.
No.
But I could hit those 2, right?
Yeah, you can definitely angle it so that you hit this one and this one.
Okay. So
and
I'm
like
gonna.
The rest of it goes over the rocks here instead of hitting them.
I'm gonna breath weapon and hit the 2 over there.
Alrighty. Your breath weapon is lightning.
Yes, and
Yes.
it's a DC. It's a Dex 13.
Okay. The one closer to you fails very badly. The other one is going to succeed, so it'll take half damage. As Nula, while pincered by this thing, inhales and just lets out this crackling of lightning from her jaws towards these scorpions.
7 damage that I've rolled pretty poorly.
Okay. So, oh boy. My pen is dying. You've betrayed me, pen. This pen doesn't work either. $7 points and then half for the other one. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to the spiders. The spider. This fidget blasted 3 of them. Oop, I don't want this. I just want the spider. He is going to move this way, and he's going to get to about there. So he rushes towards you guys. Something else happens at this point. That was weird. The sand and dust and dirt on the ground begins to kick up around you guys as you are locked in battle with these scorpions and these spiders. And these little motes of like dust begin to swirl and coalesce, and a handful of creatures appear. And what appears? Beholders.
Get canceled.
Time to unleash the beholder cannon. Just spray beholders.
Oh God! What is that?
Oh no, I'm out of here.
Evaluation complete. And
Santiago just throws the
immediately.
Santiago throws the clipboard in the air
If you
and
run
books
fast
it.
enough, you survive. Don't run it.
4 of these tiny little creatures comprised of flying, roiling bits of stone and dirt and earth that may or may not be assets that somebody stole from probably a Final Fantasy game or something. If anybody recognizes these, you can let me know. These creatures coalesce. And so the spider is not going to do anything, as it had to run for its turn. But what these creatures are going to do as they appear is giving off these sort of shrill little, like, high-pitched... They come zippity-doo dying in your guys' directions. That one falls through the floor and is never heard from again.
defeated. 200 experience, please.
This one goes towards Santiago. This one comes towards Abraham. Come on, there you go. Alrighty, so these 3 creatures appear and move towards you guys. So they're going to make some attacks against you. They're each going to make 1 attack with their claws. So against Walter first, that is a whole whopping 10.
Miraculously does not hit.
Against Santiago, that is an even more whopping 5.
Santiago blocks it with his shield.
And against Brahm,
Not 20.
well, dirty 20. So one of them will get Brahm, dealing a massive, unbelievable, life-rending 4 points of slashing damage. As these tiny little dirt claws gnash into you, and these creatures begin to kind of flit around your ankles. And that is their turn, as well as the spiders, bringing us to... Starts with a B, so it must say Brahm, but I can't read what I wrote. Brom, you're up. What's your play?
I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers at
Okay.
3rd level
Okey dokey.
on that scorpion over there by that wall, closest to me.
The one that just killed this guard. This one.
Yes, so he's going to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Okay, he rolls a 14 on the die, and his wisdom is a -1, so he is going to fail. I believe he has to immediately use his reaction to move as far away from you as possible, yes? While
Yep.
taking some damage. So he's going to move. Whoop. 30 feet this way, fleeing before Brom, chittering in terror. You've never
24
heard more
points of
terrified
damage.
chittering. 4?
24.
24. Holy crap.
Yes, it was 3rd level.
First of all,
Okay.
why does Brom have a damage spell? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, he does.
It's
have the ability to
3d6
cut
at it's psychic damage, by the way. 3d6 at regular level, and then an additional die for each above for 2 and up. So
Alrighty. That scorpion is badly wounded by Brahm's mean words and terrified runs, chittering madly, escaping, fleeing back towards the confines of the cave, which is going to bring us to, unless Brahm is doing anything else.
no.
Okay. That will bring us at last to Santiago Sanchez.
Santiago, may Santiago move, kind of shift in front of that dusty creature? Still keeping his shield up, obviously. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, to the north. Yeah,
Like that.
yeah. I kind of want to still face the party and the scorpions.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're kind of keeping it at bay with your shield.
And if all the scorpions are within 30 feet of me, I would like to cast upon them. I look and say, Kalimvor's scales have been tipped against you, creatures, and I will cast Bane on all 4 of them.
Okay.
If they are all within 30 feet.
I think they should be. So each of these squares is about 15 feet, and you're about 1 full square from them because you're about halfway through one, and they're about halfway through another. So yes, I will say you can absolutely hit all 4 of those scorpions.
Okay, they need charisma saves. Each one.
Okay. The one currently grappling Fidget is going to get a... Oh, that's a big minus on their charisma. Is a 14.
That will fail. It's a
Okay, the
15,
next
15 target
15.
number.
Alrighty. The next one is going to roll and also fail. The third one is going to roll, and I think this one makes it. Nope, also fails. And the fourth one fails. All 4 fail. They have a -4 to charisma. Who would have thought that murderous, gigantic scorpions, not super charming? All right, all 4 fail.
And then Santiago will just hold fast right there,
Alrighty.
and hopefully he has weakened the enemies for the party. So they take a minus D4 on all attack rolls and saving.
Okay. All righty. So Santiago Sanchez casting out some magic by invoking the name of Kalimvor against these creatures, which brings us to Walter.
Can you do me a tiny favor?
Yo.
Centered roughly on Alar. Centered roughly on Alar's thing. Can you draw a 30-foot radius circle?
Why you gotta do me like this? I gotta learn how to use the tools on this thing. What do we got here?
It's better to beg forgiveness than permission.
It doesn't help that your guys' Discord icons are right over the like.
Yeah.
Let's just. What is this? What am I looking at? Why do I see this?
It's a circle, but it's I think you can.
There you go. 30-foot radius circle.
Centered on the wall that Alar made.
Okay. So a 30-foot radius is about. Whoop! I dropped the dice.
Radius, not diameter.
Yeah. I'm trying to not unclick this while still getting my dice. So 30 foot is about. So if each of these is 15. Oh boy. Okay, hang on. Let's go. So that's 15, 30, and all right, let me get a little bigger. And I don't know if I can move this now. I hope I can. I can't. I don't know. I also don't know how to delete it.
Undo, Control Z.
Beep, 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 beep.
It's not correct. I ruined it.
It'll go away eventually. It won't. It won't go away. That's there forever. Congratulations.
Well.
Well done.
Based on the way it doodled itself, I'm pretty sure that a 30-foot radius circle will hit all 4 scorpions on the front line, the spider, the running away scorpion, and not necessarily hit any of our party members. Was there an undo button?
I just had to hit it a bunch more times. Well, you're trying. Okay, so you're trying to hit what now?
Not Alar. So all 4 of the frontline scorpions, the backline scorpion, and the last spider.
You probably can't get this one as it's like forward from these guys, and if you're not putting it far enough to hit these two,
yeah,
she's sort of beyond them. But you can definitely get. You probably definitely get like these 3, and then these back 2.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna creepy green light.
Alrighty.
It's time. Sickening Radiance cast centered on Alar's wall to try to nuke out everybody. It's a DC 14 con save for everything in the circle.
Pretty sure that wall's gone too anyway.
Alrighty. Walter does something terrible.
I broke the game.
Radiance of the creepy green light drops down and descends over the area. The scorpions. What's the save?
DC 14 Constitution save.
14 con save. Alrighty. Scorpion 1 succeeds. Scorpion 2 succeeds. Scorpion 3 succeeds. Scorpion 4 fails, and spider succeeds.
Did you subtract a D4 for all those?
Yeah,
sure as shit didn't. Do you want to roll a D4 and I'll subtract the flat D4 from everybody?
Yeah. I mean, I can if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
If that's how you want.
Yeah.
That's only a 1. Sorry.
Yeah, but, I mean, hey, look.
Guess what? 2 more of them fail now because 2 of them just made it. So 3 will now fail.
Do you need the door open? You bumped your elbow?
I bumped my elbow. Just gently. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
That is 26 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And when they start their turn, they have to make the save again.
Alrighty.
Sorry. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, as well as when the spell is cast, they suffer 1 level of exhaustion, emit a green dim light if they fail, and take 4d10 radiant damage. So.
Okie dokie. So you blow away the spider and the scorpion that are a little further back towards Alar's illusory wall there. They are just obliterated. They like disintegrate apart in the burning radiance of this sickening light. And the remainder of these 3 scorpions. You said 26 was the full damage, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's on a save. It's not half damage.
They don't take half. Okay.
Yeah, it's full damage.
So those 2 are okay, and then this guy takes 26 damage. Okay.
I will yell, push him into the light if you can, and then I'll turn to face the creature that's been harassing me.
Okay. Alrighty, so that's Walter's turn, bringing us back to the top to Alar.
Are either of the scorpions on myself or Fidget injured?
Yes, they both are. Nula breath weapon them both.
Okay, then
Pretty sure they just took damage as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, they saved.
No, they saved.
Let's see. Am I close enough to be able to stab the one that's on Fidget?
Mm. Yes. What size are these creatures? They are large. Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast Booming Blade on the engaged and grappling thingy. And roll nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
So
All right,
let's
definitely
see.
hits.
How much sneak attack damage do I do at this level? 46, 56. And a second. Because we're reaching the point where that's a lot of dice.
I wonder.
Are you curious about his lowest possible damage?
No. I don't have anything set up on this, but I wonder if I can do this. I can't test it from here. I've been trying to figure out how to do like music decently during on these streams since we switched to the digital, and I think I just figured it out. So maybe for next week this won't be so weird and silent during actiony combat.
So
Your
I
damage,
do
sir.
a grand total of 51 points of damage to the scorpion on
That dagger, Fidget, you are being savaged by a scorpion which is trying to pincer you and stab you with its barbed tail, and you just see from somewhere off to your left the blade of a dagger just flashes, cutting clean through the carapace head and pincery face, and for a moment you get a weird extra dimensional flash of a meme of a crab being cut with scissors with the text "This kills the crab" as that scorpion is just obliterated by the strike from Alar's dagger, and it falls limp, releasing you from its pincers and falling to the ground dead.
Okay, that's one.
That is one. And Fidget, that brings us to you.
Fidget is gonna use a bonus action to disengage and run closer, like directly to what is my right, towards the cliff wall.
Like this.
Yep. And then we're gonna Ray of Frost the scorpion that has Alar.
Okie dokie. Roll the hit.
Teamwork.
That's 20.
Definitely hits.
No, natural 20.
Definitely hits.
So that is 17 points of cold damage.
Okay.
And
his speed's
something about
reduced,
its
right?
movement, yeah.
Yeah. 10 feet. Okay, he's not going anywhere, but that is good to know. So this ray of frost launches from your hands, streaking towards the scorpion, slamming into the side of it. A bunch of ice shards kind of like spread over the side of its carapace, creating like icicles drawn sideways across its back, and kind of like freezes up the segmented joints of its body, getting iced and jammed up together. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. It is Scorpion's turn.
You got to make their saves.
These two, yes, they will make their saves. All right, Scorpion 1. Constitution? Right?
DC 14 con save. Does it still get the minus from the Bane?
I believe they are still baned.
Minus 4 this time.
Oh, -4. Okay, so he
Big
rolled.
number.
Let's see. He rolled a 14. His con is a 1, which gives him 15. -4 means he's getting toasted. Second Scorpion does the exact same thing. They both fail.
All right.
Due to the Bane.
Nice. That's a 9 plus a 5 plus a 2 plus a 7. So 18 plus 5 is 23 points of radiant damage.
23 points of radiant
They are glowing green.
damage. Let's see. That's not the right character sheet. I need this one. Alrighty. And That is just a little more than enough, and exactly enough, as 2 more scorpions writhe and... Alar, you are released as these 2 scorpions reel back. The creepy green light burning through them. These, like, pockets of steam release from between the chitinous plates that make up their bodies. You're hissing as they explode and fall dead and crumpled to the ground.
I wipe my face from the ichor and go, thanks, Walter.
Mage hand thumbs up. Oh no, that's an action. Never mind. Just regular thumbs up.
Damn it. So what's even the point if I can't do it with a mage hand? Alrighty. This scorpion is going to move towards creepy green light boy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's coming for your blood. It's now flying, and it's coming for your blood.
No, I'm not flying scorpion. My worst nightmare.
So the two claw attacks are a 16 and a 12.
So here's a question.
Yes.
Do I have that feat? That from level 8 that we talked about earlier?
Sure. What are you gonna do?
Great. As I go to lift my hand up to like block away, my tattoo, my brand from under my arm, like flares up and a shield pops out, and I'll use shield.
Okay. So you, by all reflexes, just go to protect yourself from these 2 incoming claws, and you are suddenly struck with that searing of pain from the Moxon brand on the interior of your forearm. And a barrier of magical energy appears between you. You have no idea what just happened. But the creature's claws skitter off of the magical shield. It follows up with its tail, trying to pierce, and gets a natural 20.
That succeeds. One
24.
quick, yeah.
I'm going to use my reaction to cancel that critical hit because he's within 30 feet of me, and I have an ability as a cleric of the grave.
Cool.
Let's see.
So do I need to re-roll, or is it just not a critical?
It's not a crit. It's just base damage.
Okay.
It's just a hit.
Quick note. I have to do one more thing as part of this casting.
Okay.
God damn it! Why did I make such a complicated character? When I cast this spell, I can use one of my hit die and roll it immediately after I cast. It's a 1. If I roll an even number, I gain 1 temporary hit point. Sorry, no, this is an odd number. 1 random creature within 30 feet of me takes 1 force damage.
Okay. So as the scorpion stinger pierces through your shield, it shatters on the impact, and this stinger kind of plunges towards you. Your brand flares from behind you. You feel almost just this force radiating from the vicinity of your clipboard wielding observer. And for a moment, the magics of your that are like flowing from this brand that you've never experienced before, and just the sense of power coming from I'm brain farting. Rodrigo is what I want to say. Santiago Sanchez are create this perfect thrum of harmonization, and the stinger is not able to impact you with the dire accuracy that it had been plunging towards you with, and there is almost sort of a reverb, a kickback as this thing strikes into you, and the scorpion kind of staggers a little bit as it is struck. The scorpion takes a massive 1 point of damage.
Nowhere in this documentation have I received anything about flying scorpion.
It's technically hovering, so it's legal. So from the stinger, though, you are going to take some damage. You will take 7 points of piercing damage, and I need a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. Unless you are for some reason immune to poison.
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, so in order, please. We're taking 7 points of damage.
7 points piercing, and then the stinger like pumps venom into you.
All right. I rolled a 11 con save.
11. Okay, so you will fail. You will take full damage.
Okay. I'm also going to have to use advantage to roll to maintain the concentration on the spell that I have cast.
Okay.
That's
a D8. Where's my damn D10? There it is.
I rolled 2 18s, so
Nice.
yeah.
You're going to take 16 points of poison damage.
Oh, my pants. I'm recalling the burritos I ate in Honor End.
Alrighty, let's see what's what time frame here. Okay, so that is the scorpion's turn. Nula, you are up.
Are there any scorpions behind the light?
No, I think they all got exploded.
Okay.
Yeah, they all got exploded.
Okay. So I'm going to go over to the scorpion, the only one left, and hit it with my hammer twice.
Okie dokie.
Can you reach? It's flying.
Can we get Nula?
Oh, she's flying too. Yeah, it's.
I was like, can we get Nula on top of the scorpion?
Scorpion rodeo.
Everybody's on top of the scorpion.
Nula would like to talk to the scorpion and make it her new Frank.
First hit is 15.
That will hit.
Second hit is also 15.
That will also hit.
All right. So first damage is 8 damage.
Okay.
Second damage is also 8 damage.
Alrighty.
I rolled the same dice roll on 2 different dice consecutively.
Alrighty. You flap, smash into the scorpion a couple of times. A couple of chitinous plates like crunch under your hammer. But it is still attempting to claw Walter to death. And that brings us to these little boys. We're going to make some attacks again. I seem to have lost one. Oh, it's on Santiago. Okay. So Walter, Santiago, and Baram are all going to get attacked by these little guys here. All right. So against Baram, 21 to hit. Against Santiago, 21 to hit also, and against Walter, a 22 to hit. That's fun. That's a fun thing we have happening now.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
So 3 hits. So Brahm, you take 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Where am I at here? Santiago, you take 4 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And Walter, you take 3 points of slashing damage.
All right. What is the DC for that concentration check?
10.
All right, I rolled 12, so we're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
You said
believe
it's
my
3?
Bane is a concentration too.
3 damage.
Yep.
Outstanding.
All right. That brings us to Brom. You're up.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to the little monkey ankle biter thing.
Yep.
And I'm going to do something. I'm going to say, let me introduce you to Bianca. And I'm going to pull out my Faculum Bandor.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Shillelagh on it. And I'm going to El Kabong.
Yes. Yes.
Boy, howdy. We all of a sudden need El Kabong stats for that thing.
I have it.
Oh, you got
It's
it. Okay.
1d8
I
plus
added it to
spellcast.
my.
Oh, good. All right, cool. Alrighty, go ahead and roll the hit.
Casting Shillelagh. So
Yep.
it says I can use my spell casting ability instead of a strength.
Yep.
So does that mean
So
I'm using
D20
my-
plus whatever your spell casting is.
So charisma.
So that's the
So your
spell
charisma.
attack, not my modifier?
It's 1d8 plus your
Spell attack modifier.
spell attack modifier.
Spell attack. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 1d8 plus 7.
Your
No,
two.
no,
Your,
it's
no, your
D20 plus your plus.
D20
plus-
D20
okay.
27, and then the damage is 1d8.
Natural 20.
Okay. now
So
roll
it's
a
a
D8.
27.
Oh, yep, that'll hit.
So it was a d8 plus 3 or
7.
plus 4.
So it's doubled because it's a crit.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Here, let's
So
see if I
So
can.
14 plus whatever your spell attack your spell modifier is.
Yeah, plus another 7.
No. Your
Spell modifier is 4.
yeah. So plus 4.
So 18 altogether.
18 El Kabong damage.
Stick 'em up, train. Come on!
Let's try to see if I can.
I renamed that thing Bianca in my equipment too.
Sorry, how much damage was it? Sorry.
18 total.
Okay.
Okay, Vera.
You El Kabong that little bastard into oblivion. Ha! Clang! And as the Faklukan band door smashes through this thing, it gives one terrible like and explodes.
It can hit from here on be referred to as Bianca, making it easier for everyone.
Brom, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. 19 things.
Okay. The thing, as you hit
Plus
it,
2.
it explodes, and this cloud of like dust and small bits of gravel just like pepper into you. But you quickly like shut your eyes and avert your gaze, and it is ineffective in pocket sanding you essentially. And it's going to be.
And I'm also, as a bonus action.
I think Shillelagh is a bonus action to use.
Yeah.
Shillelagh's bonus action. I just destroyed everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you but because you cast Shillelagh, it is active for 1 minute, so you don't have to recast it every time.
Alrighty. So that is going to bring us to Santiago Sanchez.
Santiago is going to spin around and face this dusty foe in front of him and try to engulf him in a sacred flame.
Alrighty.
So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw DC 15.
Okie dokie. And he rolls a 11 plus 2. So he will fail. He is burned by the sacred holy fire that is called down from above.
He's only going to take 7 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so he still burns up a little bit.
And Santiago will hold his ground behind his shield.
Okay. That brings us to Walter.
All right. The little bullshit sand monster and the scorpion are each going to take a Eldritch Blast to the face.
Alrighty.
I don't like them being in my face. So the first one at disadvantage to the scorpion is going to be a nat 1.
Okay.
And the other one is going to be a 13 plus 5.
On the little
13,
guy, yeah.
13 plus
good.
6. Yeah.
Yep.
so
Yeah, right, we'll
19.
get him.
All right, so he's going to be pushed 10 feet away and
All right,
take
how
2
much
points
damage
of
is it?
damage. 2 points
2?
of force damage.
Okie dokie. Oh! Dead.
Success.
Dead.
Back to the dirt with you.
Okay. Done? Yes.
No, I'm going to bonus. You know what? I will just hold.
Okay. Alrighty. Alar, you're up.
I'm going to move up on the scorpion that's trying to kill Walter.
Sure.
21 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And
Stab it 27 times in the face.
certainly going to try. It takes 22 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. And once again, this kills the crab. Scorpion is no more. Slice as Alar's dagger brings down another monster. Alrighty. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty, Fidget. You're up.
We're gonna Ray of Frost to the dust guy in front of Santiago.
Awesome. Alrighty.
19 plus things.
Oh, yeah.
For 10 points of cold damage.
Okay. So he's... But he does not quite rupture and fall apart. You see the kind of swirling composition of its dusty body gets a little, like, chilled and congealed. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. Scorpions are dead. Nula. 2 of these little dust creatures left.
I am going to go up to the closest dust creature,
Yup.
and I'm going to whack it.
Alrighty. Roll to hit.
18 for the first attack,
Oh, yeah.
and 13 for the second.
Both of those will hit.
All right. 11 for the first attack, and 6
Alrighty.
for the second.
Okay, so you just bang, bang, smash this creature into the ground, and just like Braum when he El Kabonged the other one, as it's like smashed through by your hammer, it gives out this like and self-destructs. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
17.
All right, you probably have like a second clear eyelid because you're a Dragonborn, so you're just like, as none of this gets in your eyes, you're unbothered. And anything else?
Nope.
He poops, he explodes. I don't want to delete the floor again. And what happens at this point is this final creature, you see it turn its tiny little dust-like head, looking at the group of you, and it gives out this sort of like and I need Santiago, Nula, Walter, and Alar to make dexterity saving throws.
12.
16.
Santiago has an 18.
An 18.
I also have an 18.
Okay, and Nula, that was with disadvantage, right? For your heavy armor?
No, I can do a second one.
Yep.
That's the lower. Yep.
What do you got?
That was the lower. The 12 is the lower.
Oh, the 12.
Too.
Okay. All right, so
Yep.
Nula, you're the only one who fails this. It just goes and this cloud of dust and debris and swirling sands just cover the area in front of you guys. Nula, you are blinded. The rest of you, the area is like obscured.
Okay.
And then it's going to just giggling go and start dust whirling in this direction. So Santiago, you definitely can get an opportunity attack.
Okay, will do. That's probably going to hit. It's a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, God. 4 points of piercing.
Alrighty. So you kind of jab into it as it goes past, and then it just runs into the cone of dust that it just made for itself. And as it does, you hear that sort of giggling. Fades away. The group of you are now just standing in a confusing dust cloud, this brilliant beam of light from Walter's spell in the other direction. And that's what we're going to call an end to tonight's session. Because it's late as hell.
Ooh, that was fun.
Dead. These guys are dead. Alrighty, so let me switch off of here. We'll go to. Oh wait, hang on.
I was saying,
Very important.
wait,
Very
did you
important.
did you save it first? Did you save it first?
Oh, good call. Good call, buddy.
Because I was gonna say, if it's running into the creepy green light, it's about to take 4d10 radiant damage like an idiot. So.
Actually, we really won't need that, so I'm not gonna save because we're not gonna need this map next week. Which means.
Nice.
Never not fun. Alrighty, so thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you guys for joining us at home for our Dungeons and Dragons adventures as we continue our story here on Tabletop Legends. We will be back same time, same place, right here on Proficiency Bonus next Tuesday at 7 p.m. That is Tuesday, May 5th. Special birthday episode. It's my birthday next week.
Oh, nice. What convenient timing.
We'll celebrate by the party being awful to me, I'm sure. So I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Marvel Moon Studio and the 8th House, and of course, Little Dragon Corp. Thank you for supporting Proficiency Bonus and letting us do what we do here. If you are not already, please subscribe to Proficiency Bonus here on Twitch. Throw us some bits. Do other internet-themed things that can help us out to continue making D&D content for you. Join us every day of the week for all sorts of content. Catch our glorious leader, his high almighty DMness, Michael. Let's see. You have, what do you got? You've got Shadowrun. You've got Dirty 20. You've got Fabled Whispers, Kindred. You have everything. It's just everything. So just could go to Proficiency Bonus's Twitch channel, and there's like a 95% chance that either Michael or Sarah or both of them will be on your screen, and you can catch them
I think you'll probably see Sarah and Christy more than I. So
thank you guys for joining me. I will see you all next week. Goodbye. I love you, but not in a weird way. Ooh, it's been a long time since I've used that one. Night.